Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Back in the days when Camden used to be about proper goths and all sorts of ghoulish things, you had a band called Cradle of Filth. Now, it's incredible to say about the staying power of Cradle of Filth that they are still around today, and arguably in their strongest form. So, coming back off the absolutely brilliant Hammer of the Witches album, which was released back in 2015, that saw the band kind of like go on a massive tour with Neo Obliviscaris, who were also another amazing band. Cradle of Filth returned with their brand new effort, Cryptoriana, the Seductiveness of Decay. So basically it's made up of 8 tracks, one being an intro, so you've literally got 2 minutes and then it's boom, straight into every single track, and each song I don't think is shorter than about 6.5 minutes long. So they opened up the whole, album campaign with Heartbreak and Seance, which had an amazing video, which was absolutely fantastic. So this is the second time that Cradle of Filth have returned with the same lineup. And man, it's just as good, if not better, than Hammer of the Witches. It's just brilliant. Like, the combination of Ashok and Richard Shaw, again, just blows me away, man. Like, they've got some fantastic leads, especially on the, sort of title track, The Seductiveness of Decay. There's a bit where it's like, and it's real kind of like Iron Maiden sort of style vibes. Which I reckon fans will really dig, especially if you liked Hammer of the Witches. There's a lot more of that sort of like twin guitar harmony trade-off sort of stuff going on. My personal favourite track, which is Vespertine, which is probably the most melodic on the album, and it's almost like this version's deflowering the maidenhead, displeasuring the goddess. So you know how like that track was almost like 2 parts. Although, to be honest, every track on this album could be seen as a 2-part sort of thing. It's very, very theatrical. But yeah, Vespertine has got such a great little solo in it, and I think it's one of Richard Shaw's finest hours. Like, he's such a great teacher, and you can hear the kind of elements of prog that sort of like seep in, which is really, really cool. So yeah, like, hats off, man. That was really good. Despite their kind of lengthy sort of song times, they go really fast. You don't realise that you've listened to an album which is like, say, 50 odd minutes long, because there's so much kind of going on. And also Danny, his vocals are fantastic. I can't do a whoa. See? And especially on Cryptoriana, the kind of the subject is Victorian ghost stories, and each sort of track is like a little vignette, but he's really focused on his pronunciation, when he's like not sounding like a swamp animal. There's also a cameo from Liv Christine, who has previously sung with Cradle on their Nymphetamine track, so she comes back for Vengeful Spirit, which is also a great track and kind of plays off that sort of, like Danny's classic sort of like shrieky vocals against, a woman sort of like la 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 la. And there's also Lindsay Schoolcraft, who does an amazing job, as ever, at creating the kind of atmospheric sort of element of the band, and then also she kind of takes care of the sort of, I guess you could call them like narrative vocals in the song. There's some songs which are more kind of like blasty and thrashy. I guess it's quite an aggressive record, but the symphonic elements are like more pronounced than ever, I would say. But they work, it's not like you have a sort of riffy bit and then a symphonic bit. You've got the two of them working together as a cohesive package. Brilliant. And now they've kind of chewed the fat, they've kind of taken off all of the excess, because I think Hammer of the Witches was about 11 tracks. Here we've only got 8, so there's no kind of room to mess around with, really. Yeah, Death and the Maiden. And yeah, it's probably the most full-on composition on the album, but each track, again, you know, because it is a little vignette, it's got a little story, it tells a fantastic little encapsulation of Cradle of Filth. And this is probably the best they've been for quite a long time, you know. I think a lot of people thought that, you know, maybe Cradle of Filth's days were numbered, but man, they've returned and they've got such a killer album behind them. And Cryptoriana, the Seductiveness of Decay, is brilliant, really. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. And please keep commenting, because I love to hear, you know, your various different feedback and all sorts of stuff. And I just like chatting with you guys. So yeah, until the next one, from the crypt.